Hello everybody, welcome back. I want to bring your attention straight away to the past month trend for Robinhood. Things really looking quite good over here, up by nearly 16.5%, 16.14 to be specific. Over the past 6 months, we've seen that trend really start to grow, with growth of over 100% in the last 6 months alone. The past year to date also looking very good, growth of 190, really quite incredible. 5-year chart, you can just see how that trend picks up. The question is then what comes next, especially when we zoom out into context. Well, to understand this, we need to understand the latest with Robinhood, and for this, we need to look at both the past 5 days and the past month, where we have seen the share price essentially continue to accelerate. This comes amidst more good news. This article being published on the 30th of July speaks about Robinhood reporting second quarter earnings beat, with revenue climbing by 45%. So, Robinhood delivers an adjusted earnings per share of 42 cents, comfortably beating the analyst consensus of 31 cents. The company reported revenues of 989 million, beating estimates of 908 million. So, funded customers climbed by 2.3 million to 26.5 million, which is obviously beating expectations. This is good for the brand, it's obviously good for the future of the company too. So the latest is simply this. Robinhood beat Wall Street expectations for the second quarter on Wednesday, extending a hot streak that has made the best performing large cap US tech stocks this year. Here's how Robinhood results compared to Wall Street's estimates. So, earnings per share, again worth 42 cents, prepared against the 31. Revenue was 989 million versus the 908 expected. This revenue climb was 45% year over year to this new 989 million, whilst the net income has more than doubled to 386 million, up 105% from the same quarter of last year. The number of funded customers also climbed by 2.3 million to 26.5 million, topping the Street account estimate of 26.1 million. Investment accounts also grew by 10% year over year to 27.4 million. The total assets nearly doubled, rising 99% from the year earlier to 279 billion, driven by strong net deposits, acquired assets, higher equity and cryptocurrency valuations, according to the release. Again, pretty good. At the same time, we are seeing some other information, which is Robinhood is closing the gap with Coinbase as it pushes beyond retail trading into full-scale wealth management. The company has been aggressively offering deposit matches to lure clients from Fidelity and Schwab. Assets under management have also grown with its trade PMR acquisition. Now, the total operating expenses have also increased by 12% to $550 million. So that's kind of the short of it, right? And of course, you can see a little bit more here. Transaction-based revenue is also coming in at 539 million. That is ahead of the Street account's $517 million estimate. So that is essentially the rough of it. But overall, very, very good news. And again, the growth that we're seeing on Robinhood, really, if you have a look over the past couple of months, this is not necessarily erratic growth, right? This is pretty stable, basically moving in the right direction. And this is one of those cases where I like to cover the fundamentals, because the fundamentals do kind of back the situation up, right? The company is doing well, and these are the kind of things that I like to factor in when we are looking at share prices, especially of companies like this. So what can we expect next? Well, obviously we need to have a look at how things have been going. Over the past day, we have seen 3.2% of an increase. Personally, for this one, we need to zoom out, in my opinion, to the 5-day. And we are still seeing this rather large increase, right? Coming from about 109 all the way up to 114. Not necessarily unprecedented, but again, zoom out to the month, and you're going to see that this growth has really been going since the 98-99 mark, all the way up to this 114. The good news, though, in my opinion, is there's some clear levels that we can point to. Obviously, we want to hold above the support of the 113.50 mark, roughly. Obviously, below that, we could be looking to drop as low as the 112 mark. This has previously been a resistance here and here. Beyond that, we could be seeing this drop as low as 109.30, which has been a support here and a resistance roughly here. And again, lower than that, we could be looking to drop to the 106 mark on the low end. Below that, potentially going as low as 100 or 101, previous level of support both here and for a brief period of time roughly here as well. And then below that, again, potentially 99, which was also a similar level of support. Those are the levels on the lower end. On the higher end, it's really going to be about to see whether we can break out of this current trend, whether we can break above the 115.95 roughly high that we have seen in the last couple of trading hours, to be honest, and trading days. If we can begin to do that, we could potentially be on to some new highs. But really, if not, I'm looking to see those lower levels hold up. The good news is, Robinhood here, if we're looking from a technical standpoint, and especially a fundamental standpoint, the fundamentals are looking strong. The technicals are looking relatively stable, right? To give it a brief going over, a brief analysis, things are looking pretty stable. So really they are the key levels that I'm looking to see hold up over here. Just a brief analysis on this one, guys. That's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think to this in the comments. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.